covering the entire Piedmont Triad and everywhere you are. This is WXII 12 News at 5.
He was just a great man, a great human being, and he belonged to everybody.
Right now on WXII 12 News at 5, hero, activist, icon, how leaders here in the Piedmont Triad are remembering Nelson Mandela.
And more on Nelson Mandela's death in just a moment, but first we're keeping an eye on the threat of some wintry weather that's moving into our area. Meteorologist Michelle Kennedy is here, and what is the latest on that?
Well, right now we have a winter storm watch that goes into effect tomorrow night into Sunday, so we have a nice stretch here where we don't have to be concerned about the icy mix, but that is on the way for the weekend. Let's take a look and see what we've got out there. Greensboro today, a lot of sunshine, temperatures incredible in the 70s, and now we are seeing temperatures slipping way down into the 30s by Sunday, so huge change coming up over the next 24 hours. This winter storm watch goes into effect from late Saturday night through Sunday evening for Martinsville, Mount Airy, Greensboro, and that continues for much of the viewing area until at least Sunday evening as those temperatures begin to actually warm a little bit for us. Here you go with that front. It is stretched out across the Carolinas and out through Georgia on the way now to cool us off. 72 degrees in Greensboro, 28 in Louisville, Kentucky. You see the big temperature changes back behind the front. We are on the way into the 30s by Sunday, and even tomorrow, not as warm as today for sure. Temperature profiles here as we go into the evening hours right around 8 o'clock, 69 degrees, 67 around 11 o'clock. Windy still with 52 degrees tomorrow morning and rain chances continuing. We'll take a look at Super Doppler 12 live radar coming up as well. And just to let you know that icy mix potential is going to be as we go into Saturday night into Sunday morning. So the possibility here of things really becoming a little tricky, whether it's ice accumulating on the cables and the tree branches, or whether we might see some freezing rain on the roads. We'll have more details on that coming up.
Thanks, Michelle. Remember, you can keep track of the forecast anywhere you go. Check out the WXII 12 News app for interactive radar and weather maps anytime, available for both the iPhone and the Android.
We are covering a developing story out of Davie County.
That's where authorities are investigating a deadly accident on Highway 801 in Coolamy. Here's what we know so far. 23-year-old Angelica Loge was hit by a tractor trailer this afternoon while she was crossing the street. Here's what one witness told us just after the accident.
I was behind the office, in the office on the computer, and I heard a loud thump. And then all of a sudden, the lady next door, in the little cashier convenience store, she started screaming. So I run out the door to see what happened. And then I seen the body laying in the highway.
The Highway Patrol and Coolamy Police are handling the investigation. They tell us so far it appears to be just a terrible accident. Troopers say that speed was not a factor, the truck driver was not impaired, and there were no problems with the vehicle. It was 24 hours ago we first brought you word that one of the greatest leaders in world history had passed away. Nelson
Mandela meant so much to millions around the world. You are about to see a live picture from outside Mandela's home in Johannesburg, South Africa, where mourners have gathered since last night out of respect to the former president and anti-apartheid leader.
Current South African President Jacob Zuma has declared Sunday a national day of prayer and reflection in honor of Nelson Mandela. A memorial service will take place Tuesday at Johannesburg Stadium, and Mandela's body will lie in state from Wednesday through Sunday, when he will be laid to rest.
And one person who knew Nelson Mandela well is Dr. Maya Angelou. I sat down with the renowned author and professor today as she shared her reflections.
Part of his legacy is teaching people to forgive. Forgive.
Dr. Angelou says she first met Nelson Mandela in the early 60s in Egypt. At the time, she was married to a South African freedom fighter, one of Mandela's rivals.
The thing that amazed me most about him when he came was he was very kind. Incredibly kind to everybody. The different organizations were rivals, and so they would stand and shout in the street and shout and argue in the living room, in my living room in Cairo. But not Mr. Mandela. He had kind words to say to everybody. When he walked out of prison, after 27 years, when he walked out smiling, the amazement. The question was, could the man survive it? He not only survived it, he thrived. I went to the inauguration, and he had invited all the guards who had guarded him for 27 years at Robbins Island. He invited them to come to his inauguration. Not in a way to say, I'm proud, look at me. He just invited them and their families. Thank God. He forgave everybody. He was just a great man, a great human being, and he belonged to everybody.
And you'll hear more of Dr. Angelou's thoughts on Nelson Mandela tonight on WXII 12 News at 6.
And we're getting more reaction from people here in the Piedmont Triad who had the privilege of meeting Nelson Mandela. Bill ONeil continues our team coverage tonight from Greensboro.
Joe Dudley says he met Nelson Mandela at a wedding in Zimbabwe in 1996. The local businessman says he spent 3 hours talking one-on-one with the president of South Africa.
Oh, it was just so exciting. I just didn't believe that he gonna spend that much time with me.
The founder of Dudley Products says he and Mandela talked about cosmetology, South Africa's economy during their time together. Joe Dudley says he also visited the prison in Cape Town, where Mandela spent 27 years.
I mean, tears just came out of your eyes to see somebody living there and coming out and being the president. I mean, it's just a storybook.
Dudley says meeting Mandela changed his outlook on life. No stranger to success himself, Dudley says he's amazed at how Mandela overcame tremendous odds to lead his country and end apartheid. Joe Dudley says he's met 5 U.S. presidents, but nothing tops meeting President Mandela. In Greensboro, I'm Bill ONeil reporting. Back to you.
A North Carolina man is an advisor to the Mandela family. Timothy Webster spoke with WXII 12 News this morning about Mandela's legacy.
From being able to be close from a family perspective, one of the things that I appreciate is how much of a selfless man, full of sacrifice, and he gave up so much. As you know, he spent 27 years in prison, but he even sacrificed after that, not really spending a lot of time with his family just to serve the political space and make sure that this country is on the right path.
Timothy Webster is from Monroe, North Carolina. His ex-wife, Mandela's granddaughter, attended Bennett College.
And we'll bring you continuing coverage of the death of Nelson Mandela and reaction throughout this newscast and on WXII 12 News at 6 o'clock as well. Also, check out our web extras and more right now on WXII12.com.
Tonight, WXII 12 is in the Big Easy as we get you ready for the Panthers matchup with the Saints on Sunday. Sports Director Kenny Becca is live in New Orleans tonight. So, Kenny, how's it going?
Juan, it's going great. Other than a little bit of rain, it's been moving in and out here in waves this afternoon. Right here, right now, it's about 80 degrees. It's a little bit toasty, but I'm told by tonight it could dip down to 40. So we'll see what happens there. It's actually just a few minutes after 4 o'clock. We're on Central Time here in the Big Easy. Earlier this morning at about 8:30 a.m., ran into some folks from the Triad. I was on a shuttle bus headed from the parking lot and long-term parking deck over to Charlotte Douglas International Airport, the main terminal. They looked at me, said, "Are you Kenny Beck?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you going to the game on Sunday?" I said, "Yeah." Well, maybe I'll see you there. I tell you what, folks, this is shaping up to be some exciting stuff. Even though kickoff is still more than 48 hours away at this point, the city of New Orleans is ready to party. Not that the city of New Orleans ever needs much excuse to party. Goodness gracious me. We saw a lot of Saints gear in and around town today. Bar owners near the Superdome say Sunday is going to be absolutely insane. It'll be standing room only, and with good reason. Not only is this a late season division rivalry game, but there is a ton at stake.
I'd say we probably see people out here about 8:30, 9 o'clock, but we're getting set up inside. Absolutely, yeah. We set our bars outside probably around 11. They'll go, and from there it's an all-day affair.
An all-day affair. The buzz is already growing. Listening to the radio on the ride from the airport over to my hotel and over to our sister station down here, WDSU, a lot of the talk is about the Saints and how much they need to win this game. A lot of people who may not necessarily follow the NFL all that closely might be wondering, okay, why is this game such a big deal? It's not the Super Bowl. It's not a playoff game. It's not even the regular season finale. And while all of those things are correct, This is most likely the biggest Carolina Panthers game in 5 years, and you can see it Sunday night right here on WXII. I will explain exactly what is at stake and bring you more sights, sounds, and colorful fans from New Orleans. For now, we are reporting just live outside of Jackson Square in suddenly soggy New Orleans. Wanda will send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kenny, and glad to hear you got your voice back.
That's right. Slowly but surely.
A Piedmont man is charged with murder tonight after his wife was found dead in the couple's home. Not soon after, a fire broke out inside the home on Wood Fern Road in Randolph County. David Janot brings us the latest from Seagrove, all new tonight at 5 o'clock.
About 200 yards behind this house, deputies from the Randolph County Sheriff's Office arrested Joseph Levi Grantham and charged him with the murder of his wife.
With huge flames billowing from the house where homicide investigators left just minutes before, WXII photojournalist William Bonnelly was on assignment getting video on the scene when he witnessed something completely unexpected.
That's when I saw a person flee in the scene. So he ran from the back corner of the house toward this wooded area, and then he disappeared.
Bottomley reported what he had seen, and deputies were on the scene within minutes. Deputies used bloodhound dogs to sniff around the woods and shortly found Grantham, who is now in jail at the Randolph County Detention Center. Right now, there are 2 separate investigations at the house at the 4400 block of Woodfern Road. The Sheriff's Office is investigating the murder of Grantham's wife, Constance Grantham, who was shot. And SBI is investigating what they call a suspicious fire. It took 5 fire departments to take out the blaze.
And just to give you a little bit of a background, Grantham does have a criminal history, and at one point he even escaped prison. Right now he's in the Randolph County Detention Center. Reporting in Randolph County, I'm David Janot, WXII 12 News.
Winston-Salem police are seeking for answers in some overnight car break-ins in the Ardmore community. Police say that 9 vehicles were targeted, property damage and stolen property estimated at about $1,600.
Winston-Salem police are investigating another rash of car break-ins in the eastern part of town, the southeastern part. Here's a surveillance photo of the man authorities are seeking. The first case in the Sedge Garden area was reported on November 19th and the latest on December 1st. There are at least 21 cases that remain unsolved. If you have any information, give Winston-Salem Crime Stoppers a call. That number is 727-2800.
They need your help to make sure that local kids in need have a Merry Christmas. More on this annual effort coming up on WXII 12 News at 5.
And at 5:30, more on the reaction felt around the world on the passing of Nelson Mandela.
Plus, there'll be a few holiday parades this weekend, and coming up, I'll show you how they'll impact traffic. You're watching WXII 12 News.